We just talked about electromagnetic waves, so now we're ready to talk about light, which is one type of these EM waves. What we're going to be looking at is the ray model of light. So light can be modeled as different things such as a wave, a particle, or a ray. So we're going to focus on the ray model of light. The ray model of light, what it says is that if you have light and it's going through a big opening such that the opening is much bigger than the wavelength of the light, then basically the light will go through basically in a straight line, so we can approximate it as a ray. In later sections, we'll learn that if light goes through a very small opening, then it will actually bend like this, and it will form wave fronts. It will behave as a wave that will interfere with each other. There will be diffraction and interference, but that's the topic of another chapter. For now, we're going to look at light modeled as a ray. This is very easy to do. You just model light as a straight line, draw an arrow going in the direction of that light. So there are different ways that your light ray can interact with matter. You have reflection, refraction, scattering, absorption. In this chapter, we're going to focus on reflection of light and refraction of light. The other thing I wanted to mention is how we see objects. To me, this is very fascinating and fun, and we'll use this a lot once we start talking about lenses and mirrors, but we're also going to talk about it when we're doing reflection and refraction of light. So what I have here is that an object is a source of light rays. What I mean by this is not necessarily that all objects emit light, but if they don't emit light, then they reflect light. So a pine tree, it acts as though there is light being emitted at all points here, but it's not that the object is emitting that light, is that the light might be coming from another source, let's say the sun, and then that light ray is shining on the tree, and then that light ray is being reflected. So it's as though the light ray is coming from the tree. So each point on your object is going to send light rays in all directions, whether it's creating those rays or reflecting them from another source. How we see objects is if the rays of light enters our eyes. So in the top picture, we have a laser light, and the ray is going above the eye, so that means that you're not going to see that light. Of course, you never want to look straight at a laser anyway. In the bottom picture here, we have rays of light that are coming from this tree. Again, that means that they're being reflected from another source, but you can consider them to be originating from the tree here, and they are entering your eye. Now, your eye actually focuses those rays on the retina, and that's how you see the image. We'll talk about that later as well. But the point is that you only see the object because those rays of light here are going into your eyes. So that's all for this short little section. The next section we'll start talking about reflection of light.